going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. Hallelujah. I'm here with my guys on Let's Talk Football Sunday Game Day Preview. And if it's getting a little smoky in here, well, that's because my guy must be in the building, Mr. Nick. I want the smoke, Rosario. What up, Nick?
Yeah, good morning. It's time for the Sunday smoke. Let's get it on. Right, do this.
Let's go. And then I got to go to my man right here. He's only under me in camera position because he's over me and everything else, doing big things. My guy, Mr. Nathan Snell. What up, Nate?
What's going on? How you doing?
Always good. Always good.
I love it. No, I love it because no matter how excited he is, Nate has like the same tone. I'm good. How you guys doing? You guys even keel.
Even keel the whole.
Even like, can you imagine like Nate as a kid on Christmas morning over his presents? Thanks, Mom and Dad. That was beautiful. Like, just the same, that same tone throughout the whole thing. That's right. Right. Thank you, Mom and Dad. That was beautiful. Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm chilling. Yeah. I'm Nate.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, and if you have not seen, go back and check Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. Just got off the air with 2 shows, one about the Ravens and then one about Washington. And we will definitely tune into that. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness. I did not expect this, but we have a special segment coming, ladies and gentlemen, and it's called Yeah, buddy. And we got a special guest, Washington's finest. Heineke is back. Will Kramer has returned. What is up, Will? What's going on?
Oh, wow.
Am I able to sing a little bit, Sean?
Oh, do your thing, man.
Oh, here we go. Great. There it is.
Da 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 da.
Let's go.
I got the shirt ready.
Let's go. Heineke's back, baby. Oh, my goodness. Hey, this is unexpected. I love it. Will, we need a pep talk. First thing in the morning, what are you going to say to your quarterback? What if you're the coach, you're going in, Heineke, you're coming back. What are you telling him before he goes out there?
He doesn't have to be the hero. Just get the ball out quick, rely on his running backs, and things will be fine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. What do you got going on this morning, sir?
We are climbing the steps.
Let's go, baby.
I'm supervising stair climbing.
Yes.
Nice.
Well, I think, is that symbolism? Is it climbing the steps? Climbing the rankings, getting back to the top? Let's go, baby.
We are getting close to the top. I see what you did there, Sean.
See that, Will? See? That's Washington Football Weekly, Wednesday night, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm excited, folks.
Yes.
I am excited. I think that, like we said on Wednesday, Heineke's I think he's gonna come out strong today. Yeah. I think he's gonna move the ball. He's gonna run it. He knows the internal clock that Carson Wentz doesn't necessarily have on this offense. And I think, I'm actually thinking about picking up Antonio Gibson in fantasy. I think we're going to have a lot of short stuff, and so I think, with Logan Thomas out, we're going to have to rely on Terry, Curtis, and then the running backs, Yeah. And so I think that fits Heineke's game. So I think he's going to look good. It's going to be exciting. Plus, no Bakhtiari versus Montez Sweat.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I see a W. I'm
feeling W. It's a bad day to be a Packers fan.
Let's go.
Oh, there it is. Well, I'm always good with that because I don't like the Packers anyway, so I hope you do beat them. Go on with your bad self.
There we go.
Go ahead.
See, he's got his burgundy on, too. It's getting close.
Wow. There we go.
Start him young, and a child shall lead them. Look, Will.
I got to say, this is my wife's doing. She's got one kid in burgundy, the other kid in gold. So, she's a Packers fan, too.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Wait, how is that today?
Is that love? That's love.
That is love. Yes, sir.
It's got to be, because how does that work, right? I want to know that one.
She believes that the house is happier when Washington wins today.
Oh, no.
Let's go. Let's go. Well, look, Will, we're going to let you do the Papa thing, man. We appreciate you hopping on here Wednesday night, ladies and gentlemen. Will Kramer and myself, Washington Football Weekly. Love you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Enjoy it. I'm going to keep listening. Good to see y'all.
All right, well.
Let's go. Let's go. What a great opening start. Nick, I'm coming to you. Hey, little bit of talk, man.
All right, here it is. My beloved Bear. We have had 10 days off to get right what has been wrong so far. Now, here's the thing. No one is on the injury list this week, which is phenomenal. We are healthy. We made a shakeup on our offensive line, for those of you who don't know. We are sitting Sam Mustipher, which makes me absolutely happy. Lucas Patrick goes back to his natural center spot. We're going to start Alex Leatherwood along with Borum, Jenkins. So this is the chance for the offensive line to prove itself, ladies and gentlemen. This is the day. Monday night versus the Patriots. Run the damn football. You have David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert behind what you hope is your future offensive line. Run the damn ball. Because guess what happens if you run successfully? You open up the pass game. Now, why is that important? I know people are going to say, well, you don't have any receivers anyways. And even if that's true, the point is, when you run successfully, you open up the passing game. And N'Keal Harry is probably going to play Monday. So there's a lot of factors in that. He's going back to his old, people say, no, it doesn't matter. But he's going against his old team. And who doesn't want to make a good showing? He's going to see some of his buddies beforehand. And then when the game starts, it's on. So I'm really hoping that Monday night, guys, we come out with that renewed sense of energy. You've had 10 days off. You're all rested. We're all healthy. No injuries. Let's take this new offensive line alignment and let's do this. That's my pep talk. Get in there and whoop that New England Patriot candy ass on Monday night in Foxborough. That's right. That's all I'm saying about that. That's right.
Look, took a little phrase from your guy Nathan, talking about some candy ass. Nathan, what is your pep talk on this Sunday morning, brother?
Do you smell what the Nick is cooking? No,
oh my goodness, no, Nick.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nate.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Oh,
we suck right now.
Golly.
Let's just be real. We are a much better team than this. We should not have lost to the New York Giants, even though we should respect our opponents. True. We've been through these things before, and we got to look at each other in the mirror. We got to hold each other accountable. Lamar, you're doing too much. Calm down.
Mm-hmm.
John Harbaugh, Greg Roman. If something works, stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody needs to take some leadership. I'm getting very frustrated to watch guys last 6 weeks, especially these 3 games where we've blown leads. No one grabs the whole situation and says, we need to get it together. We had the 2012 Super Bowl champions here. If that don't bring any motivation to this team this weekend as the season progresses, something wrong with us. Get it together. Because we look like trash. We're not a serious franchise right now. It's getting really hard to make cases and make excuses for this nonsense. Get it together.
Yeah.
You better come out and beat these Ladukis today. You need to. And you don't have Deshaun Watson, so there better be no excuse. Win the game.
Hey, there it is.
There
it is.
Just win, baby.
Tell him, Nick.
Just win. You're right. Just like Al Davis. Just win, baby. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, those are our quick pep talks. We had to bring it to you. I definitely we're gonna move on. I'm gonna shout out a show that we have on Tuesdays. It's called Let's Talk Football, the Round Table, with my guy right over here, Nicholas Rosario, Anthony Handy, and Delilah Crespo. We'll be right back. We'll talk a little MVP talk, ladies and gentlemen. Be with us. Get back with us. Yeah, buddy. That was Let's Talk Football, the round table on Tuesday nights. And stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. That is a great, great show. I do want to address something really quickly. Kate said, "Sorry, I have a better hardball coach."
No comment.
Okay. I was gonna say, I know,
Kate,
I know.
We love you.
Yeah, when they met in the biggest game in NFL in the Super Bowl, that hardball won.
That he did.
I'm just gonna say.
You're just saying it, right? You're just gonna. I get it. We love you, Kate. But this is Sunday. That your coach played yesterday.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So we're this Sunday, honey. We love you, but let's keep the hardball talk to a minimum, shall we? Right. Let's Let's just move on.
Alec, what's going on? Say, I'm still shocked the Ducks won yesterday. They played a great game against formerly unbeaten UCLA. Shout out to that. Shout out to Nicole. Let's Talk Football NFC South Takeover. Talk about Let's Go. I'm sorry. You actually stay here, Nicole, because we're actually about to talk about your team next. Anthony,
right.
What Oregon? They're a good team. They should be no surprise there. Yeah. Would it be funny if Oregon ended up playing Georgia again?
No, I don't want to see that. Do you?
Right.
You really want to see that?
I don't want it. We'll see what happens. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we are Let's Talk Football Sunday game day preview. But we got to go back because there is weekly games. And this week, it was a little better than the Thursday night game from last week. If you don't know who won the Thursday night game from last week, hey, Nick, who won the Thursday night game from last week, Nick? Tell me who won it, Nick.
The Washington Commanders.
Let's go.
Yes, we know. Yes.
Thank you for the Chicago pizza and the Chicago hot dogs. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Why don't you follow that up with a victory this week? Then you'll impress me. All right. Let's win 2 in a row here, and maybe I'll say something nice about your team.
Right. But yeah, like Dylan said, he is at the game this week. There were touchdowns, and there absolutely were touchdowns for both teams. Even though one quarterback liked to throw to the other team, the Cardinals beat the Saints 42-34. I'm sorry, Nicole. I know that was hard for you to deal with being a diehard Saints fan. And it was a pretty solid game early, but in the first half, well, Andy Dalton he was throwing them all over the place, Nick. He was throwing it here. He was throwing it there. He was throwing it to black and gold.
Everywhere.
And he was throwing it to red and white. He also gave the other team 2 TDs, 2 pick sixes.
Yes, he did.
Nick,
man.
Talk to me. You know Andy Dalton. He was your guy last year.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it,
no, he was. Well, here's the thing, too. You never, it sucks sometimes when you get those cheap interceptions where, like, the ball's deflected or a receiver gets through his hands or he bobbles it or something. I think that was the first pick six that was like that. So you sit there and just go, okay, that's a bad break. But then he comes back on the next drive and decides he's not finished yet, but throwing to the other team. So he throws another one.
Yeah.
Now, the amazing part about all this, and here's the thing. Criticize Andy Dalton one. I think he had 3 total interceptions in that game outside of the 2 pick sixes. He had another one, in the game. But his team was down, I believe it was 28-14 at the half. Mm-hmm. And they battled back. They were within 8 points of the, at the end there. I mean, again, it probably wasn't as close as it might have looked, but Andy brought him back. Like you said, he still had 4 touchdowns. And for anyone who might have been crazy enough to start him in their fantasy league, he got like 40-some points.
Mm-hmm.
So is the Red Rifle dead? I don't know. Or whatever nickname you want to give him. But
Ginger Ninja.
The Ginger, yeah, you like to call him the Ginger Ninja. But the fact of the matter is, I think it showed that Andy Dalton actually can still throw the ball. He can still play. This week, I think he got a not. And again, you're playing a Cardinal offense that decided to wake up. I think they've been struggling, and all of a sudden it's like, well, and the thing is, the Saints don't have a bad defense; they have a pretty decent defense.
Yeah.
But Kyler Murray was like, nope, this is my week. Watch this, and I'm going to show you what I got. And they got DeAndre Hopkins back. You had was it the third? Benjamin had started as a third string running back. Because the other two guys are out. So you were like, man, this guy. You have to really give Kyler some credit for this game. His team scored 42 points. Is probably the most. I think that's the most they've put up all year so far. So kudos to them. The Saints defense had a little bit of a letdown in this game, and then that was again. It doesn't help when your offense gives up 2 touchdowns to the other team. Well, that's 14 points right there. But all in all, you take that away, and Saints could have won the game, right? So those things happen. But overall, like you said, as far as Thursday nights go, the best game of the year so far. Obviously, the most entertaining because everybody loves offense.
Yeah.
So after the game we've been thing. This one was like, game of the year so far when you think about the Thursday night game. So it's like, this is phenomenal. We got some offense. We got touchdowns. We got Al Michaels was actually happy, it seemed like. Herb Street, was being his usual self. So, whatever.
Herb
but
Street on the NFL thing.
I don't know, bro. I like Kirk for what he does, college football, GameDay and all that. Fantastic. You're great, Kirk. I don't know about this NFL, but that's okay. Like, he's an entertaining guy. He's been around a long time. He understands the game. It's fine.
Yeah.
But, just to see Michaels happy again and not criticizing the entire game is funny.
Yeah.
Because Al Michaels, he's hating his job. He was hating his job up until this week. He was. Like, why did I take this damn gig? Thursday night game
I like with Herb Street. What is this?
They give me this guy as a partner. Yeah.
Right. Hey, look, you're absolutely right. There was finally fireworks. Finally, they were throwing it all around. And to your point, Andy Dalton did not play a bad game. 30 completions. No. He had the 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards. Kamara had over 100 all-purpose yards. Yeah. Olave, thank you, sir, my fantasy team. He had over 100 receiving yards.
He did. 17 points from him. It was great.
Exactly. But the other side of the field, we saw what happened. The Kyler Murray, they got it back. D-Hop got back, got 14, 15 targets and had 10 receptions. That defense showed out. But I think, Nate, I'm coming to you. The one moment that everybody's talking about in that game from the Cardinals, timeout called, and Kyler Murray comes to the sidelines. And he appears to rip Coach Cliff Kingsbury a new one. He read him the riot act. He went off on him mid-game. Coach tried to play it off in the press conference. What were your thoughts when it happened and with the explanation afterwards?
That's nothing new. I've seen that before. I saw that with Marcus Peters and John Harbaugh against Buffalo. It's frustration. Look, their expectations for both of them. Now Kyler got his money, Cliff Kingsbury got his extension. There's high expectations. I think there was a lot of misassignments, miscommunication, and there was just frustration. I'm not going to let that should not even really be an issue. They still won the game. I think to attribute the Generation Z. Nah, that's with all generations. I mean, that's nothing new. So I think the mainstream media, making a big fuss of it. There's one particular person that we all know who I'm talking about, who really does not want him as head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not going to make no fuss over it. It happens, and they're going to. I think that motivated them to win the game. So. I think it's water under the bridge.
Yeah, and it's happened multiple times, and but like you said, if they're winning the game, it just becomes a minor footnote. It's not a major thing. We've seen what happened. The bigger story should have been the 3 interceptions, 2 of them which were taken back for touchdowns, showing how good that Cardinals defense is. And D-Hop is back, ladies and gentlemen. We know he served suspension. Finally, he's back on the field. So that should be a great thing. But yeah, like you said, the media blew it up. The explanation given by Cliff Kingsbury. I don't say that. That should have been
10 times.
Right. That should have been the word play that you say at the beginning of the game to get you ready. Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury.
Right.
Klingon Cliff.
Yeah. Exactly. Say that. That's right.
Work those muscles. Shout out to them Cardinals for getting the W, and we'll keep focusing on this. Honestly, at the end of the day, I think it kind of goes back to some of the things that you said. One of the things you said on your show, you got this guy on a contract where it says you got to do this many hours of film study. You're demeaning him and kind of how you're doing it, and this and that. And he's kind of sitting out here like, look, I'm doing what I need to do. What are you doing over here with some of the play calls you're calling? There was one play where they throw a fade to Rondale Moore in the end zone, and you got D-Hop on the field. Are you what? You know what I mean? And I get, you follow the quarterback, you follow what the play call is, but at the same time, it's like, bro, let's not get too smart for our own good. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we shall see. Nicole says, don't worry. They will be back to entertain you on Thursday again in November against the Ravens, I believe.
Oh,
there you Ravens go. Later?
Yeah, we do actually. Yeah.
Ooh, Thursday night.
Oh, look at that. Look at
that. He said the Ravens will do what they are good at. What is that, Bobby?
Oh, wow.
Bobby?
Figures.
But yeah, I think so. Players and coaches have always had philosophical differences, but the younger players are now going to be, I'm going to cuss out my parents in public thing. Oh, see Robbie Henderson for reference. Oh, my goodness. Yes, Robbie is a child. We've seen what he has done. Actually, as a matter of fact, that is a perfect segue. I didn't write it in, but we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Robbie Anderson gets in the coach's face. Next day, he's gone. We say all
gone.
CMC in a blockbuster trade goes to the San Francisco 49ers. I believe he will play today. Right. He is out of there. Are they jumping off the ship? Do they see it's a sinking ship? Like what's going on here? Nate, I'm gonna come to you first. It's a fire sale in Carolina. Who else is gonna go?
I mean, this should have been blown up a couple years ago. I mean, like ever since the Super Bowl run, they're not the same team. They're lacking identity. Giving Matt Rule that contract, I think was just can you just try to just, it's like trying to fix a plate that's already broken. To sit there and say DJ Moore is a foundational piece. That's pretty much saying like you're going to have to give us something to get rid of him. And again, the reason why is because they did give him a 4-year deal, $60 million extension, and somebody's going to take on a good chunk of that money. Yeah. And most teams are not going to do that right now because it is looking bad across right now with the salary cap. So this should have been blown up a while ago. I like the trade. They pulled Los Angeles Rams. Let's hope that it's a fresh start for Christian and he actually can stay healthy and not have nagging injury here and there. So I like the trade.
Yeah. And then we shall see him in San Francisco, what he will do. I am excited to see kind of what Shanahan does with that offense. And, all of a sudden Jimmy G looks like, a king now. At one point he was about to be a backup all season. Now, not only is he leading the team, but then he gets this weapon to pair with Debo. Ooh,
George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So watch out. But look, going back to the Panthers, Matt Rule's out, like I said. They tried to shop DJ Moore. He's not out. We don't know if he's going to go yet. The trade deadline is November 1st. But then one thing they do know, there's teams that have offered up to 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns, that great defensive player, but they are not budging on that. So are they trying to keep something? What's going on there, Nick?
Well, that's the thing. Isn't it always the way when people say we're rebuilding, but you always try to hold on to 1 or 2 pieces that you think are going to be something?
Right.
So that I'm not too surprised by. I mean, again, we'll see what happens with that. Like you said, people are offering stuff, but a team like Carolina, obviously they want to stockpile picks now. Look at what they got for CMC. There's like 4 picks in that deal, 3 next year and 1 the year after. So you're doing the right thing. Like you said, Nate, you're rebuilding. Maybe you have been since that Super Bowl run and you just didn't want to admit it. But now's the time. Then fine, you're going to do it. Sell off your parts, get your picks, rebuild the team, see what you do. I mean, it's just one of those things. Carolina plays in that NFC South there. Hey, they're always going to struggle in that division with the teams that are in there. So it seems like just rebuild, man, dude. Maybe in 2, 3, 4 years, you'll hear about Carolina again in some sort of relevant way. But yeah, it is what it is. And again, the Christian McCaffrey trade is phenomenal for San Francisco for about 3 reasons that I can think of right off the top of my head. 1, you obviously add to an already pretty decent offense. 2, you could probably prevent CMC from a lot of these injuries because he's not the main focal point of the offense like he was in Carolina. He's got other people around him who can get the ball and can score. So yes, he becomes an integral part of the offense, and yes, he makes the offense inherently better. Mm-hmm. And 3, and this is probably the most important, he's a check down for Jimmy G when he gets in trouble. Yeah. Because McCaffrey can get himself open 5, 10 yards here, there, throw a quick block and get out to the flat, this is what you want from a guy like Christian McCaffrey. This helps Jimmy G tremendously, I think, with his game managing style. It's a perfect fit. San Francisco pulled off a good one. They have a good enough team to make a playoff and Super Bowl run. So you just added another piece to do that with. Yeah. Again, would they have gotten there with Trey Lance? Who knows? We're not going to find out because he's not playing. Right. So you got Jimmy G back in the fold, who's got playoff experience, a Super Bowl appearance. Go San Francisco. What else can you say, right?
Absolutely. So shout out to them. They got it. I know both parties are very excited because, like you said, the Panthers got a lot of picks, but San Francisco got probably one of the top 5 backs as far as definitely all-purpose yards and
for sure.
threat. You know what I mean? There is always the question. There is always the thought in our mind, and one of the reasons why a lot of people didn't pick him first because, like Anthony says, # he stays hurt. But that could be said about Garoppolo, and it could be said about them. So, look, as long as they're on the field, this is absolutely a great thing. And like Nicole said, it's a good day to be a 49ers fan. So we will definitely see how that plays out. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you commenting and talking back with us. We want you to look at a little bit of one of our other shows. Let's Talk Football, Ladies Takeover. And just know, if you talk about my team, I'm coming.
Oh, God.
That's a great thing. That's actually a great thing that you guys can possibly tie it up, have a 3-3. I really want the Washington Commanders to have a 1-5.
You know what? Blasphemy will stop now. I will not allow any Let's Talk Football production to have this blasphemy smoking. It is 0-0. We are in this thing.
In the room.
Today, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've told you today, the race is not given to the swift. Nor the battle to the strong, but to those that endure. We're coming.
I have to let you in on the Don't have to let you in.
You did that wrestling. You did that wrestling style.
Come on now.
You pop in right at the direct moment.
Yeah, buddy. That was Let's Talk with Ladies Takeover. It's trying to talk about my Washington Commanders. I will talk about my team. I don't need your help, Janae. I love you dearly. Let's go. Those are Thursday nights at 7:30. Janae Struther, Kate Alverson, Delilah Crespo, Ash Swinson. Definitely tune into them. They have great things, great topics on there, and always leave you with a little tidbit, something you might not have known before. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we are at week 7, almost towards the middle of the season, getting closer to that at least. And I know it's very early, but we still got to do this. MVP talk. best player on the team, the best player in the league overall. We're going to give our top 3 picks. I'm going to go ahead and go first, and I'm going to go from 3 to 1. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. I understand that the W's might not be coming, but at the same time, he is putting, he had to deal with teams that have been coming back and playing good ball. He has still been playing balls to the wall. And even though, a lot of people are talking contract, a lot of people saying this and that, he's still up there as one of these guys that you're saying, if I have him, I can build around that. He is doing his thing. I've got to give it to Lamar as number 1. My number 2, we already know a lot of people have picked these guys to go to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, almost 2,000 yards in the air, only 4 interceptions, 17 touchdowns, and has over 250 on the ground. I love what he's doing. He is a leader of that team. If you take him out, they are definitely not the same team without him. And my number 1 right now, MVP candidate, I hate to say it because I'm a Washington Commander, but at the same time, it's Jalen Hurts, man. The way that he is playing right now, he is just playing. He's leading that team. He has them driven, and he's not having to do it all on his legs. He has just under 300 yards, but he's been able to do it in the passing attack. 6 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He's getting the job done, and he's looking good with them. He's leading them, and he's leading a solid, stout team. But he's been everything that he's come up against, he's been able to kind of keep it moving. And all the hate and all the kind of the detractors that talked about him before are kind of quiet right now. So Jalen Hurts is my number 1. Again, my 3 at the moment. Got to go, like I said, Lamar Jackson of the Ravens, Josh Allen of the Bills, and Jalen Hurts of the Eagles. Nick, I'm going to come to you next. Who are your top 3 right now for the MVP talk?
Well, it's a young man's game, right? As they say, and I think it's no surprise that in terms of top 3 right now, they're all quarterbacks. Like, that's the way the NFL is structured, right? You live and die by your quarterback these days. So it stands. And again, my thing is, I'm kind of glad we're not talking about Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers at this point for MVP candidates. Yeah. Like, they're not having very good years, as it were, some of these older gentlemen. But that's a different, right? Well, they're not on the list. And anybody who puts them on the list is delusional. Sorry. For all you Rodgers and Brady fans, don't be delusional. They're not having very good years. But yeah, I mean, I got to go. Mahomes is still, Kansas City still, and he's doing it with a plethora of receivers and guys. He's getting the ball to everyone. Like, everyone's got touches in that offense. Like, what do you do? And you got Travis Kelce still, so makes you look good when you throw 4 touchdowns to a tight end, right? Who doesn't love that? But again, so he'd be 3, I think. 2, 2 and 1, really, I go back and forth, but then I think about what does it MVP, most valuable player. And yes, Josh Allen is for his team. Yes, he's definitely one of the, but Buffalo does have other things that make them good, like their defense and Stephon Diggs and that sort of thing. So and again, not taking away from John, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, though, when you think about MVP, and as you were talking about, Sean, I agree with you. Right now, I think Jalen Hurts has to be the front runner. If for no other reason, he's been the most valuable player on his team because the defense has struggled at times, but he's been able to keep them in every game, and they've scored enough to win in every game. Yeah. He's managing the game. He's getting it to Devontae Smith. You get it to A.J. Brown. They're doing everything they can to win. And whether you like Philadelphia or not, they're 6-0, baby. And right now, we're talking, like I said, week 7. I got to go with Jalen Hurts as number 1 right now. Josh Allen, and then Patrick Mahomes for me. So
I like that. Nate, what you thinking, man?
Well, I'm doing a different. So I have 5, not 3.
Bro, we've got 5.
I'll just stick with 3. So number 3, I actually moved him to number 3, Lamar Jackson. Even though I think he's because it's more about what's around him and how they're using what's around him. I think it's more frustrating. I think he's putting too much pressure on his shoulders he's shown that I think he can win games, but if the others around him are not effective and they're not being used, you kind of see him struggle. So I that's just how I've been seeing it, especially these 3 games where we've blown leads. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. I got to give him credit because I mean their offense, even though it was without Tyreek Hill, they really like to really emphasize. Well, they don't have Tyreek Hill, but you're filling it with guys like Sky Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster. You still have your number 1 tight end in Travis Kelce. Your offense to me is still quite effective, and it's not like the offense fell off completely. Patrick Mahomes is still going to do Patrick Mahomes things, and then number 1, Jalen Hurts, is without a shadow of a doubt. From last year, everybody was on this wagon of the Eagles need to move on from him. He can't throw the football when he really didn't have nothing really to work with. Now you've put a lot around him. Now you see the ball, the offense is more spread, and he is shown to take over games. I mean, I just watched them just beat those that team in Dallas. It's just the leadership, and it's just what he's doing for his team. Like they're 6-0 for a reason, and I believe he is the reason. Like if you take Jalen Hurts off that team, what are the Eagles? So I think he's definitely an integral part of the offense. Honorable mention, I had Cooper Kupp at number 4 and Josh Allen. No, I'm sorry, Josh Allen number 4 and Cooper Kupp at 5.
I can dig it. Well, look, hey Nate, I'm gonna come right back to you because you alluded to exactly where I was gonna go next. Thank you, sir. The dark horse. Who are the guys that we may not think, the media will give all the credit to, but like Nick said, the MVP is not just somebody who has all the highest stats, as somebody that if you took them off that team would be the 100% opposite without that player. So talk to me. Who are some of your dark horses for the MVP?
I put Austin Eckler on this list.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Even though Keenan Allen hasn't been there, Austin Eckler, he has definitely been a staple on that run game for Los Angeles. He is the truth. I mean, he has had a touchdown in pretty much pretty much the first 6 games. Like, it's just something like if you take him off that Charger team, other than Mike Williams, they don't really have much of an offense. I just think that that's someone that I have as a dark horse MVP because he's just building off the success. Number 2, I would say Joe Burrow. I think he's kind of started to wipe I think the ice is starting to defrost. I just think it was just the Bengals just having a slow start. The injuries to the offensive line. Then I mean, total offensive line. So it's basically they're still kind of adjusting. And then I was a toss up. I just had 3. I said just it's a tie between you had it all in here as well. Kirk Cousins and Justin Herbert. It's a 2-way tie. So.
Yeah, I got it, Nick, and I'm going to come to you. Me personally, I got to throw Kurt in there. I got to throw Kurt in there because, like he said, last year he was having a stellar year. This year he can get the numbers. That's what he can do. Winning the games is something completely different. But that team, he is definitely spearheaded by him. Now with that, and I think an equal, if not greater, piece of that puzzle is the fact that he has Justin Jefferson, who has put himself up as one of the top 3 wide receivers. Who, if you're not a Kirk Cousins fan, makes him all the more better because it's like you're getting it from Kirk Cousins, and those of us who know the pain of Kirk Cousins. All right. So those are my 2 staying in Minnesota. But who are your dark horse MVPs?
Well, as you know, I'm an old school kind of football guy. We've had this conversation. I like defense and running the ball and pounding it down someone's throat personally. But hey, the new look offense in the NFL is not bad to watch either. But for me, MVP doesn't always go to a defensive player. But if you're talking dark horse, I like what Micah Parsons is doing in Dallas.
Hmm.
The guy is a beast. He changes games. He's always there. Every game they've played, and again, love you, Ash. I'm not particularly a Cowboy fan, but I have caught some games this year, and that kid is just all over the place.
Yeah.
When you talk about most valuable player to a team, I mean, you made Cooper Rush look like an all-star by keeping them in games and him managing the game. You know what I'm saying? That defense is the reason that Cooper Rush is probably 4-0 as a starter.
Right.
Just being honest. But yeah, I mean, if they were going to give it to a defensive player, I like Micah Parsons right now. I'm telling you, that kid is very valuable to that team, and part of the reason they're winning, he's a big part of that, my friend. So that would be a dark horse for me. Again, obviously on the offensive side, which is where this award normally goes to. Yeah, I mean, it's probably maybe Lamar Jackson, depending on how Baltimore goes the rest of the year. Like I said, a receiver. I mean, there's Jefferson, obviously, like you said, makes Cousins look better. But I'm going to stick with Micah Parsons as the dark horse, because if that kid continues to have the year that he's having, it might be hard to overlook him at the end of the year. But again, defensive players don't really win that often, so I'm not holding my breath. But I'm going to go with Micah Parsons.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we have comments to what our guests think. Anthony said, my MVP is State Farm, Limu, the Emu, and Doug, and Mayhem. Kate said, you make me smile. Ben said, Limu and Doug, I got no. Yeah.
Jeez. I think Mayhem is the best one out of all those.
That's what Anthony said.
Mayhem is the best. Mayhem is the best, bro. Come on. That guy, but just the actor sells it so well. Like those Mayhem commercials are the best, aren't they? Like they're just phenomenal.
You do have a point. But real right here, if he doesn't get MVP, Michael's get defensive.
Yeah, agreed. He probably will. If he continues like this, he should definitely be the defensive player of the year. Agreed.
But again, MVP stands nowhere near what it is. Yeah, without him.
Exactly. Agreed.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being here. We're gonna move this thing right along. It is week 7, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to go and give you each one of our picks for game of the week. This is the game that we are following. And we're going to put most of our attention on. Nathan, I'm going to come to you first. What's the game that you're just like, this is it. I don't care what you're doing. Leave me alone. I'm watching this one.
The Miami Dolphins versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh. Okay. Why?
Because I'm really curious to see how Pittsburgh, after that game against Tampa, which I know Kenny Pickett probably won't play because of his concussion. But I'm just curious to see how that Pittsburgh offense responds to this Miami defense. I know Miami's defense, they tend to struggle early. Again, watching them play Baltimore. But I think some of the problems with Pittsburgh was not on Mitch Trubisky. I think it was quick to throw him under the bus. So I expect it's going to be a back and forth. But I think the Miami Dolphins are going to it'll get out of hand by the second half.
So Pittsburgh does not have Kenny Pickett on their injury list. So it looks like he might get the start. It has Kazay DeMonte, Steve Sims, and Kello Witherspoon, but it does not have Kenny Pickett on there. So if he plays, does that change things on offense?
A little bit. I mean, I don't think when you come off a concussion, I think there's going to be some sluggish. It's going to be a sluggish start, but I think he'll be okay. I do expect the offense to put at least 27 points on Miami.
Okay. You think they get the W, or think Miami takes it?
Oh, Miami, I say they'll beat the Miami Dolphins beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 38-27.
Okay. And as we do know, Tua is expected to play in this game. So, whatever thoughts we had about Tua, we will see what happens today in this game. Nick, I'm coming to you next. Week 7. What is your game of the week?
Well, outside of watching my beloved Bear play the Patriots on Monday night, I'm going to go and because of the trade, I'm going San Francisco 49ers, Kansas City Chiefs, my friend, because I want to see how Christian fits into that offense. They did drop some plays for him. He was at practice on Friday, so they're putting him into the offense right away. We're going to see how it rolls with Jimmy G and the boys. Again, like you said, you got Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. Poor Jeff Wilson now is not going to get any playing time because Christian's there. So, I'm really interested to see how they integrate Christian McCaffrey into the offense. And again, I think this gives 49ers a leg up on Kansas City possibly this week. Everybody was taking Chiefs to win. We were all like, well, we wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers won. Well, now, I don't know. I might have to tip that scale just a little bit in favor of San Francisco because I personally think San Francisco has a better defense than Kansas City. Yeah. And so if they can get a little pressure on old Patty Mahomes, game could be totally something we wouldn't expect. So I'm actually intrigued to see 49ers Chiefs and see how that goes.
Yeah. And that's crazy. Going back to Tuesday night when you guys covered on the roundtable, we had no clue that CMC was going to be there.
Nope.
So we'll
not at
see.
all. So yeah,
we'll see how that plays. Look, where I stand. I'm going to go completely homer. Washington is at home playing Green Bay. This benefits my guy over here. This benefits my guy down here. Washington fan and Bears fan. So we are hoping to get the W. And look, realistically, on a normal day, if everybody's healthy, I'm just in here saying next. What's the next game we got? But they have some serious guys out. Bakhtiari, their all-pro lineman, is out. They're one of their number one draft picks, Watson. He will not be playing, among other things. Listen, they have a very poor rush defense. We've been starting to really establish our running game. That's going to be huge. I understand we have Heineke in there, but Heineke is a game manager. As long as Heineke doesn't try to play too far above his level and out of his limitations.
Don't be a hero.
Yeah, he can be a solid quarterback. And the one thing that we can't say that is 100% true about Heineke as compared to Carson Wentz, Heineke knows this offense. Yep. Heineke had this offense when he was in Carolina with Scott Turner, and now he's had it here in Washington. He will be able, at least I think, like my guy Will said, he'll be comfortable. He'll know what he's doing. He's playing a team that is struggling. We saw the Jets manhandle the Packers last week. So I'm fully believing my Washington Commanders could come out here, have some momentum, get the ball to Brian Robinson early and often, take a deep shot early just to kind of get the corners back, and then run it. Time of possession is going to be huge. We're going to have to take the ball. Regardless of however many few weapons that Rodgers does have, he's still Aaron Rodgers. So the number one way to beat him, keep him off the field. That's where I'm at, man. I'm focused 100% on this game. If we do win this, they will be 3-4. We will also be 3-4. And then all of a sudden, we're starting to work towards something that we can do. We start slow with Ron Rivera, but he always he gels the team together and gets us moving. So let's see what happens in this ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Those are our picks for our games of the week. We're going to do something here after this little commercial break. We're going to go out and we're going to pick our picks for all of the games. And we're going to come back a week from now, and we're going to see who has the picks, the who leads, as far as who got the picks right. And at the end of the year, we're going to have something special for the winner. And the loser will have to do something. Maybe sing, maybe wear the opposing jersey or sing their or do something. So Nathan, get ready.
Wow. There it is.
Let's go.
Hello.
Let's get it. But before we do that, there are so many different shows. Today is Sunday, the start of the week. Every day this week, there is something, whether it be through Let's Talk Football, whether it be through Zagniff Productions, or whether it be through North Sports Dynasty. So here is all of the shows in the Let's Talk Football brand. Stay tuned. buddy. So that is all of the shows that are on the Let's Talk Football docket, if you will. Let's Talk Football catalog of shows. We got a lot of stuff going on, and my mind's still going, so we might have a bunch more. College football is coming up. Big Nate Sports Talk will be diving into a lot of that. The NBA is back, so Big Nate Sports Talk will be covering a lot of that as well. So we are going to get into that. It's going to be great. But for here, it's Sunday. We're talking football. Less than 6 minutes to go. So we're going to go dive into all of our games, and we're going to give you our picks, who we think is going to win, and come back next week, give you the totals, who had the highest number of correct picks and the lowest, so on and so forth. So we are going to start right away. First pick, we're doing Washington Commanders host the Green Bay Packers. Nathan, what do you think? Who's going to win?
Washington 23, Green Bay 19.
Okay. My guy, Big Nick, what you think?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna take Washington just because I want them to win. So I don't really have a score because who knows how the hell this is going to go, but I'll take Washington for the victory.
Oh, I can dig it. I appreciate it, and we're going to be a clean sweep on Washington. I'm definitely taking them. I'm not going to go against my squad because I believe it could actually happen. Going with you, Nick. Starting with the next game, the Buccaneers struggling Tom Brady versus the dumpster fire that is Carolina. What do you think?
Well, here's a stat for you. The last time Brady was 3-3, they managed to whip off like a bunch of wins in a row. So it's hard, it's really hard to see the Buccaneers going under 500 here again. Man, I'll take Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I'll take Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa. Nathan, what you got?
Carolina Panthers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by 14.
Oh, okay.
That's
14, huh? All right.
That's okay.
Nate is feisty.
After he got his offensive line, they're going to remember that one.
I respect it.
Okay.
Do what you do, man. Do what you do. I personally, I got Tampa. I don't think Tom Brady's still Tom Brady, and there's just nothing I can hang my hat on in Carolina. So I definitely got Tampa. Let's move on to the third one. I'm going to start with this.
Kate. We are friends. I don't appreciate Tom yelling at his offensive line like that.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, that is something we do need to address, Tom. Maybe if you went to practice, Tom. Right. I'm going to move on to the next game on the docket. Cleveland Browns play the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to say the Baltimore Ravens are going to have a get-right game. They're going to get a W in the division. It's a much-needed game. It's going to be close because these AFC North games seem to be kind of closer than I expect. So, but I definitely think Cleveland gets the W. Nick, what are you thinking?
And it's not, I love you, Nate. You're my boy. I do. I think Baltimore needs to figure out how to finish games, man. And it's sad to see because, like you said, they are a really good team, and I don't know what the problem is. But Cleveland can be sneaky. And, Njoku's gotten more involved in the passing game. You still got Nick Chubb back there. I'm going to take Cleveland in this game in a very close one.
Ooh, okay. Okay, Nick, Cleveland. What you got, Nate?
He turned his camera off.
Browns 24.
There you go.
Who'd you say?
Ravens 30, Browns 24.
Baltimore. All righty. I can dig it. So we got 2 Bolts and we got 1 Cleveland. We're going to move on. Anthony Handy, glad you guys are here. The Atlanta Falcons go up. Wait a minute. Go up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Nathan, what do you think about this game? Atlanta versus Cincinnati?
Cincinnati Bengals beating the Falcons by at least 21 points.
Oh my goodness
wow.
gracious.
Nate is going for it today.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Bengals beating the Falcons by 21 points.
Cincinnati getting the W. Nick, are you in agreement with this? We know what We know what our guy,
I don't know about.
Anthony says.
No. Well, here's the thing. I like what Mariota is doing. I know a lot of people have bagged on Marcus over the years, but as Sean and I have talked, I actually liked Marcus coming out of college, and I feel like now is the opportunity. He really is getting an opportunity to lead a team, and he's not doing a bad job of it. Atlanta, for all intents and purposes, is still in the hunt in the NFC South, as Kyle will tell you. They're coming for the South. But this is going to be a test for them. Like Nate said, I think Cincinnati's on the come up, and I like the Bengals. I love Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I'm going to take Cincinnati in a close one.
Ooh, okay. I like that. So you got Nick has Cincy. Look, I'm trying with y'all. You see, Nate, you must be drinking today. Oh wow, we want this Kyle.
Wow.
Oh, Kyle, okay. Speaking of Kyle, is Kyle Pitts gonna catch anything? Is he gonna show up to the game today? Because I need to know about that.
Wow.
And we know Marcus is okay. Look, I can't do it. I'm not gonna do it. These guys won the Super Bowl a year ago, and they might not be back, but they're better than some daggone Atlanta Falcons. I'm going Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's got this one. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Didn't Jamar Chase have a big game? Yeah. I'm going Cincinnati in this one. Going on to the next one, I know two people are going to agree, and we're not even going to have to pick. Detroit versus Dallas. Detroit. Nathan, would you like to pick? You got Detroit too? Yeah.
The Detroit Lions have beaten that team in Dallas 30-21.
There it is. Nick, would you like to join the party, or do we need to cut you out of the video?
You know what? As much as I would like to join the party, I just feel like Lions. I don't know what's going on there. They're right there. They're in these games. They're right there, and then something just happens where it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And with Dakota Rain Prescott coming back today, as it were, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Cowboys in this one. Sorry, Kate. Sorry, Alex. Cowboys come out on top.
I get it. Yo, moving right along, Indy playing Tennessee. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've jumped on Indy. I've jumped on their train for a while, but this year has not been great. Matt Ryan and that transition has not been good. And one thing that I think that is happening that they did not need to happen in Indy is that Derrick Henry is starting to get fired up. He's starting to get turned up. We saw he got over 100 against us. Right. We've seen what he's done in recent weeks. So I got Tennessee pulling out the victory in a close one. Nick, what do you think about this one?
You know what? I'm going to go Indy and Matt Ryan. Jonathan Taylor's back this week to match Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go Indy in a close one.
I like that. Nate, what you think?
Derrick Henry has 3 touchdowns against the Colts.
Tennessee beats the Colts. Nate is going for it today.
28-14.
Nate ate his Wheaties this morning. He's on fire. I'm telling you.
I like that.
That. He had a nutritional breakfast.
Right? Yo. All right, let's see how good, Nate, you are. All right. New York, the Giants, who are surprisingly number 2 in the NFC East right now, are playing my dark horse for the AFC Championship, the Jacksonville Jaguars, this week. Who you got in this one?
I'm going to say the New York Giants are going to surprise the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's going to be close. I'm going to say it's going to be 27-24.
Ooh, okay. Nick, what you think, man?
Well, yeah, if you guys saw Nick's picks on Tuesday, you know that the Jaguars were actually favored by 3 points in this game, and I kind of shook my head at that going, wow, the Giants are not getting any respect. So I took the Giants +3, and I'll take them today to beat the Jaguars in a close one.
Wow.
I say 7 points. I say like 24-17 or something like that.
Giants.
Yeah, okay. Giants. Yeah.
I personally think this is the week that the Giants take an L. I need it to happen.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's kind of wishful thinking, but I'm also saying it could possibly happen. Jacksonville, this is a get right week for you because we know that in the Indy and Tennessee game, somebody's going to knock the other team off. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, you're starting today. Let's get it going, baby. Let's get it going. Next, we're going to stay in New York. The New York Football Jets are playing the Denver Broncos. I'm going to go first. I say the Jets. This is 2 parts. One, because the Jets are playing balls to wall right now. We saw what they did to Green Bay. It didn't even look close. The running game is solid. That defense is playing legit right now, and Zach is doing just enough to get it done. And the second part of this, I'm sorry, Nick, but Denver and Russell Wilson, I don't know when it's going to click. I don't know when it's going to get together. The players are starting to get at him. He's still talking about cooking, but he has just been piss poor. Like, yes. I'm sorry. He has just not been great, and I can't get behind him. I keep saying, is this the week? Is this the week? So I'm going New York Jets. They continue their run. Nick, what do you think, man?
Well, yeah, but I also thought that wasn't Brett Ripien playing this week? I don't think Russ is playing. So that even puts a bigger hole on Denver. Yeah, Detroit. I mean, New York, the Jets, the way they dismantled that Packer offensive line, I think the Denver offensive line is worse. Yeah. So I'm going to critique the Jets in this game, especially with the backup quarterback. Go Jets.
Oh, yeah. So was I too soon in my pick? I picked that Russ would be out by week 8, and now it's week. Is he hurt?
Yeah, he had the hamstring in the shoulder.
I think it's his shoulder.
Starting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he had a hamstring injury in the last game. So, yep, he's done. Well, he's done for now.
Yeah,
well,
he's done for good.
He always gets
done for good.
Well, anywho, I picked the Jets. Yeah.
Yep. Nathan, what you think?
Breece Hall has 2 touchdowns on the day. They'll beat the
There you go.
Yeah.
28,
we go.
17.
Oh, I like
it. Ready.
Oh, I like it. All right. Look, let's move on. We have the Houston Texans and the Las Vegas Raiders. Nick, I'm going to come to you. What do you think, man?
Okay. Now, this is just the smartass in me. Wouldn't it be great if Houston won this game? I'm just saying. I'm not a Raider. I'm not a Raider fan. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to try to pretend. You know, I do like Derek Carr, but I just think it's just not working. For whatever reason, it's not working. Even Devontae's having a decent year, but he's not killing anybody. They're not killing anybody. Houston is a young upstart team, but nothing to lose. Davis Mills back there. Damian Pierce has been good. Brandon Cooks has been decent. How about the Texans in an upset? I'll go with Houston.
Oh, I like that.
How about that?
I like that.
How about that?
Nathan, what you think, man?
Damian Pierce and Houston Texans will beat the Las Vegas Raiders 28-21.
Wow. Okay. I am going to disagree with you guys, and that may or may not because I have Derek Carr and Devontae Adams starting this week. But the Raiders will get a get right game and have a big day against the Houston Texans. I think the Las Vegas Raiders get the W. We're going to move along down the list. The Chargers play Seattle, and this is my upset pick. I think Seattle with Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker will get the W. Nick, what do you think, man?
I go with Seattle too. And just a quick note: Joe Burrow already threw a touchdown pass in the game to Tyler Boyd.
Wow!
Go Bengals!
Wow.
Yeah. But anyways, I'll go with Seattle. I like what Geno's doing. I got him starting in one of my fantasy leagues. I'm hoping he has a good game. I'll go with Seattle.
Nate, what you think?
The Los Angeles Chargers beat the Seattle Seahawks 30-20.
Okay. All right, moving right along. Nate, I'm coming back to you. KC and San Francisco. Patrick Mahomes versus the newly acquired CMC. What you think?
This game's going to go in overtime. That's my prediction.
Okay.
49ers win in overtime.
I like that. Nick, what do you think, man?
Like I said, I think CMC tips the scales just a little bit. I'm going to take the 49ers in an upset this week.
I think you're going to have a week. It's going to take a week or two to get into the full swing of things and who gets what touches and everything like that. I'm going KC just because they're familiar with each other. Following that week, Pickett will play Pittsburgh playing Miami. I'm going to go first. I have Miami getting the W. Shout out to Bobby. I just think Pittsburgh is just still trying to figure it out. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a tough one for me because you don't know how Tua's going to come back. I mean, they still have guys on offense. This game might be closer, I think, than a lot of people think, but I will still take Miami.
Yep. Nate, what you got, man?
I'm going with Miami. I just feel like Pittsburgh, somebody is setting Mike Tomlin up to fail, and that's not right. But I'm going to say the Miami Dolphins beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'd say like almost 38 points.
Ooh.
38-24.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see if they can get that done. And last but most certainly not least, I'll let you start, Nathan. The Chicago Bears on Monday night play the New England Patriots in a rematch of Super Bowl 20. Nathan, what do you think is going to happen?
Are you ready for this, Nick?
Uh-oh.
Sure, I'm ready for anything, pal.
The Chicago Bears are going to upset the New England Patriots 27-24.
Let's go.
Oh, there he is. Well, I like that. I hope we do score 27 points. I like that one. All right, that's good.
Wait, are you ready for this, Nick? The Chicago Bears are going to the New. No, they're not. They're not.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Chicago 17-14. I'm with Nathan here. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, I took the Bears plus the 7, but I think it could be a closer game than that. Like I said, I'm just hoping that the 10 days off, everybody's healthy, no one on the injury list. Hopefully, this is the offensive line that we were going to go with. We picked up Alex Leatherwood for a reason. The kid's ready to play now, so let's do this. I take the Bears in a close one. Yeah.
I can dig it. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, those are our Week 7 picks. For the most part, we're pretty similar. There are a couple games that we kind of switch up on, but we all picked Washington to get the W. We all picked Cincinnati. We all picked the Jets. And we all picked Miami and Chicago. So let's see if we at least got those victories among the other ones. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys being with us here today. As my guy Nick has said, Burrow has already thrown a touchdown, so the games have already begun. Look out for more stuff from the Let's Talk Football community, Big Nate Sports Talk podcast. All the things we got going on. Go watch yourself some football. I'm going to go out here and try to watch my team, see what happens. If you hear me yelling, if you hear something yelling, it's going to be me. It's going to be interesting. I had a chance to go to the game, and I was like, Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. I've already watched my team lose twice. I can't. It's kind of painful. It's kind of painful. So at the end, just wanted to say appreciate all you guys watching. We will be here with you guys next week. For myself, Mr. Sean Spencer, my guy over here.
Hey, Mr. Nick Rosario.
Yep.
How are you?
And my guy down here,
Nathan Snell. Appreciate you.
Yeah, buddy. We will be with you next time. Stay tuned for all.
By the way, Nick Chubb just scored a touchdown. Go Cleveland.
Okay. We're gonna take you out the right way. Since my guy and Nick wants to come out, we're gonna go out the right way, the round table way. Man, somebody say Uncle Shay. Peace in the Middle East.
Oh, jeez. So I'm going to take the Lions plus 3 in this one over the Patriots. If anybody can tame a bird, it's definitely an. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman is on the show, and yet during my segment, what is he doing? Playing around on his computer, making notes, telling jokes, trying to be a funny guy. Do I do that during your segment, sir? Do I sit there and make comments? Do I laugh at you? No, I do not, sir. What is this? I thought we had a better relationship than this. You know what? Don't make me go Shannon Sharp on you, because I'm telling you, let me tell you something there, Skip. I don't think this is right, because you be making comments during my segment. I don't think this is funny. I don't think it's funny at all. And let me tell you something else. When I was playing for the Broncos, I caught every pass that threw to me. Let me tell you something, Skip Bayless. That's what I'm saying to you. Take that. So anyway, there you go.
Jokes aside, that is a dope Shannon Sharp impersonation.